we should probably be looking at the draft for the 2026 season, right? The Titans are 1-11 going into week 14, and I'm pretty sure everybody kind of hopes at this point that they get the number one pick in the NFL draft. Welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper, and on today's show, Dane Brugler, the NFL draft expert, the author of The Beast. Well, he created what we like to call the biggest NFL draft kind of just breakdown of every single player. All thousands of players that go into the draft. He creates a player profile for every single thing. The most comprehensive breakdown of any insider on the internet. I kind of trust him more than Mel Kiper at this point. It's his entire job, and he created a mock draft. So we're going to take a look at some of the picks that he has for the Tennessee Titans in the 2026 NFL draft. But we got you covered. We're going to already start talking about the offseason, what the Titans should look forward to in the future, because it's a rebuild process. And in the second year of Cam Ward, and you have a new head coach, obviously things could be really, really good, and you could bounce back. So we got you covered. Hit that sub button right now. Here's the Titans draft picks, and they have a lot of them. You got your round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4. Then you got 2 5s, 2 6s, and 1 7th as 9 total draft picks. You get those 2 fifth-round picks from the Los Angeles Rams and the one from Baltimore with the Draymond Jones trade, and then the round 6 for New York Jets for the Jarvis Brownlee Jr. trade. And what do the Titans need going into the 2026 NFL Draft? Well, a lot. They need a lot. I listed 5 positions where they could really go with. Obviously, they do not need a wide receiver. Quarterback. They need a wide receiver. They do not need a tight end. You drafted Gunnar Helm this year. But you still need an edge rusher. Cornerback, obviously, you traded away 2 of them. Interior offensive lineman and tackle. I really don't think J.C. Latham has it, and we'll get into that in another video, but this is about the 2026 draft class. This is my first observation, and if the Titans, which they do right now, have the first overall pick, if they don't trade this pick, Mike Borgonzi and Chad Brinker should be fired immediately. There is no reason for you to keep that number 1 draft pick when you already have your franchise quarterback. Trade it away to someone to build back up and get the draft capital. And Dane Brugler, well, he agrees with me because in his mock draft, the Titans are making a trade and they're trading away the first overall pick to the Cleveland Browns, and in return, you get the 5th overall pick in the 2026 draft, you get the 26th overall pick in the 2026 draft, and also a 2027 second-round pick in the NFL draft. That is a perfect draft trade. I would agree with it 110%. You do not keep it. There is no reason, because a lot of people have them taking Bane out of Miami with the first pick, and I'm like, no. You can trade back and still get your edge rusher. And that's exactly what we're talking about, because with the 5th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, Dane Brugler has the Titans selecting Keldric Faulk, the edge rusher out of Auburn. You need an edge rusher. You need someone to pair alongside Femi Oladejo as he starts to progress and get better and better, and also someone to just get to the quarterback. Here's what Brugler had to say about Keldric Faulk. With substantial holes across their roster, the Titans are a near lock to trade down if they end up with the number 1 overall pick. One of the areas where they need reinforcements is on the edge, where Faulk shows a ton of promise. He's an impressive athlete. 6'6", 270 pounds, with the point of attack strength to create movement and shed blocks. Because of his young age, football character, and sky-high tools, Faulk has a profile that is very similar of Mykel Williams from last year's class. I would very much enjoy a edge rusher like him, because a lot of the times you need to get better at the edge position. Right now in this season, the Titans, they went with 2 veteran guys. You had Arden Key that was already there, and you brought in Draymond Jones to try to just boost it as a veteran, as a bridge guy, and then you later traded him away. So drafting Keldric Faulk would be the perfect scenario for them. His stats aren't eye-popping in the sack category, but 29 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 4 PBUs. He is a good edge rusher to get to the quarterback. It's not something that is going to be it's going to be like a work in progress. We talked about Femi Oladejo in the past. Femi Oladejo only played 1 year at edge before getting drafted. Keldric Faulk, he's a good player. It's like I said, even what his measurables, when I looked him up, was 6'6", 288. And if he gets slimmer, if he gets even in better shape, he has the strength and physicality at the point of attack. But the only problem that he has is just that kind of twitch and overall athleticism. If you go up against a gigantic left tackle, not Dan Moore Jr., because he's been terrible as of late, but once you go up against a guy like Joe Alt, that's where you might have to struggle. But like I've said multiple times before, the Titans need to get younger at the edge position, and you need to get better at rushing the quarterback. They've gotten better this year. They're around 13th in the NFL with 30 sacks. Last year, they had pretty much 30 total, and they were 30th in the NFL. So you're getting better. And you also added in a guy with Femi Oladejo. And as you look at the edge depth chart right now, there's really no young players on the team except for Femi. But Femi has been on the IR for the last couple of weeks with that leg injury. So you're rocking with Sebastian Joseph Day, who can play outside and inside. Arden Key, he was a trade candidate throughout the whole trade deadline. And Jihad Ward, he's just a little bit old. So you got to get younger. You got to draft, because these are not guys that's going to be in your long-term plans. Femi Oladejo is going to be in your long-term plans, but you need 2 edge rushers, not just 1. So I'll ask you guys, would you draft Keldric Faulk, or would you draft another edge rusher, or even maybe a different position? You let me know down in the comments section. Give me a D for draft, or give me a P for pass. Coming up next, we got pick number 26, because in that trade, the Titans didn't get just 1. They got 2 first-round picks in this draft, so we're going to go over it in just a second. But first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is PrizePicks. It's the holiday season, the best time of the year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once, and when you and I are out here making decisions every day on what gifts to buy, what to eat, and what game to watch, there is one place where it feels good to be right. PrizePicks. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less than 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you could cash in. PrizePicks now has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. I love how straightforward PrizePicks is. I don't have to spend a lot of time calculating my payouts. PrizePicks makes it easy with their payout multipliers. And I made a lineup for Thursday night football. We got George Pickens, the Moore, on 5.5 receptions. And then we got Jahmyr Gibbs. He's been going off all season long. Give me the Moore on 78.5 rushing yards. And Detroit, unlike Tennessee, they are the opposite of Tennessee, and they're aggressive instead of conservative. They don't kick field goals. They go for it on 4th down every play. I got the less on 1.5 field goals made. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. All right. With the 26th pick, the Tennessee Titans are staying on the board, and they're selecting Kevin KC Concepcion, the wide receiver out of Texas A&M. And the Titans, they drafted a lot of wide receivers last April with Alec Manor, with Chimere DK, but you're getting a young wide receiver core, and you're getting it even better with this guy, KC. Here's what Brugler had to say. He said, upgrading the offense around Cam Ward will be the Titans' highest priority this offseason. Whether lined up outside or in the slot, Concepcion is a dangerous snatch-and-go wide receiver. He ranks top 10 in FBS in yards after the catch at 7.6, adding an upside pass rusher and an electric pass catcher, as the Titans have done in this mock, would be a great step forward. I would like this pick. Now, do I think that the Titans really, truly need a wide receiver in the first round? With how good that Chimere DK is, and you see the upside of Alec Manor, I'm not 100% sure. I'd rather go with an offensive tackle in this spot, because like I said before, I don't think J.C. Latham is going to be a part of this future. He has not been good, and you have to protect Cam Ward. When Cam Ward has a clean pocket, that's when you see him at his best. But when you look at his stats, I mean, it's kind of hard not to see him on the board and just be like, we got to take him. 57 catches, 886 yards, 9 touchdowns, and that average pops out to me, 15.2. And if you want to go with the route, okay, well, we might not have the best protection for Cam Ward. If you get that pass out quick, he's going to catch it and he's going to create yardage. He's a beast on the yak. Big catch radius, even though he's only 5'11 and 190 pounds. If you throw it in his vicinity, he's probably going to get his hands on it and catch it. But the only problem is, it's the tangibles. 5'11, 190 pounds. He's kind of small. You go up against some of the best cornerbacks in football, like Pat Surtain, like Derek Stingley, like Christian Gonzalez. You're going to be locked down, and they're going to be bigger than you and be able to level the living hell out of you. But if you look at the last 2 seasons, I mean, from 2024, he had a down year. 8.7 yards per catch, 6 touchdowns, 460 yards. But 2025, that's when he absolutely went off. 57 catches, 886 yards. And they still got another game to go. They're in the college football playoff with only 1 loss. But if we're talking about wide receivers instead of offensive line, I'm getting as many weapons for Cam Ward as physically possible. Calvin Ridley, I don't think you're a Tennessee Titan any too much longer. I think you've already played your last snap. Van Jefferson, you are not a part of the future. I see Elike Manor. I see Chimere DK. Maybe Bryce Oliver. Mason Kinsey, no. And Xavier Restrepo, I love you, brother, but you are not a top guy. You are not going to be the top guy in the first 2 years of your career. You may have really good chemistry with Cam Ward, and I want to see you get your reps. But Elike Manor, Chimere DK, and KC Concepcion would be a solid wide receiver room. And then you have Gunnar Helm on one side. And then get another running back at some point. Is Tony Pollard? I like Tajay Spears, but is he the future? I don't know. Maybe not. Comment down below who you want the Titans to draft. If you want them to go wide receiver, go let me know down in the comments. Or like me, I'd rather protect Cam Ward more than anything. I'd go with an offensive tackle. But you let me know down in the comments. And also, hit that sub button. We got you covered all throughout the week. All Titans coverage all the time. So hit that sub button. And as always, tighten up.